For you creating music for film, like how does it come to you? Like, where does your inspiration kind of come from? Was it your talks with the director? Was it kind of Western kind of feel? How'd you go about that?
That's a good question. Part of it is that, part of it is like the talks that you're having with the director and working all that out. For me personally, part of it is I love to work with musicians, put them in the studio, and just kind of like improvise with them. I've had sessions where I've improvised with orchestra, which is like a no-no, you don't do that. Orchestra, they're in the room and kind of like, hey, you play this, you play that, and they're like, what the hell? Like, you don't tell us what, no, just do listen, it'll be fine, So that's part of my process. Is I really love to be able to like, in those moments, improvise, like find things that you can't notate, you can't write down on paper. So that's, so it's a kind of a combination of all those things, but that was definitely a part of the process for this particular film. It was kind of finding those improvisational aspects of it and capitalizing on it, Yeah.
Like when you're doing, creating music for like scenes where with the good guys and then the bad guys, what instruments do you kind of experiment with when you're creating music for like Randolph's character or Wade's scenes when they're doing these kind of like violent things to each other?
Well, the score for this film, I'll just say outright, the score for this film is not your typical Western score. And we wanted to make sure that it wasn't from the get-go. There are aspects that could maybe be aligned with some, but majority of it's more meditative. It's more like a ghost story than it is like a typical, cowboys and Indians kind of Western film. And so, in terms of, I don't know whether there was any. Whether I was thinking about it like that, like kind of good versus bad or whatever, because I felt like what I was trying to do with the score is make sure you understand that like it really is kind of like this crazy ghost story of this guy coming back from war and just being like totally like totally being overwhelmed by it's like he's so messed up and he's not able to talk about it, and the music is trying to represent that all the time. Like this guy he's off, for lack of a better way of saying it, So I don't know, that doesn't really answer your question, but I wasn't really thinking about it from maybe that kind of way.
Treat them all as equal.
Yeah, and we definitely didn't want to play it like good guy, bad guy. It was it's more ambiguous,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So did you have a favorite composer? Any other favorite scores from movies?
Oh boy, I mean, I could draw on so many film scores. I think one composer that I really resonate with is probably Clint Mansell. I think his work he does an incredible job of crafting his score in so many different ways. Yeah, I really, emotionally though as well, because at the end of the day, it's like when you watch a great movie, you come out and you don't go like, what did I like about it? I like this and this and this. You go like, something that just got me, And when I hear one of his scores, it's just like, he just gets me, so.